Hello and welcome to the Dad Whisperer. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Watson, and I welcome you to this conversation today because you know that I want to equip dads of daughters to dial into the heart space of their girls. And what that means is that dads need more information about what their daughters really need. And today we're going to be talking about that exact thing. Well, let me begin by just reminding you that every week I use a template. On your mark, get set, go, where I picture you as dads standing side by side. Picture like being on a field, getting ready to run around the course on the grid that has your lane marked out for you, and you're standing side by side. And I'm on the sidelines as a coach cheering you on and saying, okay, on your mark. Can you picture that? You're standing there. On your mark, you're going to get down on the get set. And then when I say go, you're going to run. So on your mark, that's the topic every week that we're going to cover. Get set into position means you're getting stories and stats to make it real. And then go, you bolt. And so to put your love into action, you've got to have an action plan, right? And in order to be a hero, you have to take action. So see how that all goes together. Well, on your mark, this week is the topic, 20 things your daughter really longs for. And I put the word really in there because it's funny that it's in my book title. And at first I didn't like that word. I thought, really? Oh my goodness, I sound Valley Girl. Really? But I have come to love that word because it has the word real in it. And you think about anything that you really want, you're going to go for it, aren't you? If you really want something, you will shoot for the stars. You're going to go for it. And so when a dad knows what his daughter really longs for, it's not just one of those things that could be temporary or she maybe could take it on one day and not the next. These are the vital components to making a healthy daughter come alive. Just like think of when you're planting, new seeds or you're planting plants in your yard. You want the soil to have all the nutrients that it needs so that that plant can thrive. Same with your girls. These are things that you want to plant in the soil of her heart so that she can thrive and grow. And she doesn't always know how to tell you what she really longs for. So I'm going to help do that for her. So now that we're moving into the get set portion today, I want to talk about love languages. So love languages are something that I talk about with the dads in the ABBA project because it helps them dial in with more precision to their daughters' hearts, because you've heard me say that men would rather do nothing than do it wrong. So when men don't know what to do to reach their daughters' hearts, they're going to be grasping at straws. But if they find out what her primary and secondary love languages are, then a dad can more accurately do those things right to reach her heart. So you've probably heard these before, but the 5 main love languages are quality time, words of affirmation, touch, gifts, acts of service, and those are the 5 things: quality time, words of affirmation, touch, gifts, and acts of service. And on the top of the form, and I got this out of the book, the question that I have the dads ask their daughters is, I feel most loved by my dad when? So dads that want to take action, or maybe that can't listen to the whole program today, ask your daughter that question. Honey, you can even ask your sons, finish this sentence. I feel most loved by my dad when? Because that is going to give you big insight to what your daughter really longs for and what she really needs. So if you don't have time to listen to the whole program today, take that one and run with it. As you run around your fathering race this week, run around the track. So listen to what one of the ABBA Project dads just said in response to asking his daughter that question. She said that she finished it by saying, I feel most loved by my dad when he shows me attention, acknowledges me, and makes time for me. So here she is, 14 years old, saying, Dad, when you show me attention, acknowledge me, and make time for me, I feel loved. So which of the love languages would you say is probably her primary and secondary love languages? Sure enough, quality time, you heard that. That was number 1. And then she said words of affirmation were number 2, which might be the acknowledges. Like, you're speaking to me and you're looking at me. We're getting face to face. It wasn't touch. It wasn't acts of service. Was it? Or gifts. You can tell when you ask that question what your daughter really longs for and needs from you. Well, I wish that you sometimes, dads, could sit in my counseling office, even if it was only for part of a day, because you would hear what I hear consistently from teenage girls and 20-something women. You'd hear how often they doubt themselves, how often they fear a future without a boyfriend to love them back. That is a big, big, big one. Tears often pouring down their face. Why do all my friends have a boyfriend? And every time it's Friday night and I have to hang out with the girls. Like, it just goes deep for girls and young women. If you sat in my counseling office, even for part of a day, you'd hear how often girls and young women say they don't know how to express what's really going on inside of them. You know, obviously, as they move into their 20s, they're better equipped to put words to the feelings. But those of you with teenagers, you know that a lot of times it's only the emotion. It's no words. And then girls talk. Once they start crying and they know it's safe to keep going past, I often ask, what are your tears saying? Dads, take that one. Run with that this week. When your daughter cries, and remember, tone of voice is a big one. It's not, okay, what are your tears trying to manipulate here? What are they doing? No. Tone is a big part of communication, right? 38% experts say. So you're going to say, what are your tears saying, hon? What are your tears saying? And girls then talk. They keep going. But even without words, they're saying a lot, aren't they? As their emotion comes pouring down their cheeks. If you were in my office, even for part of a day, you'd hear how often these girls can't get their feet on the ground when their primary relationships are in turmoil. We as girls, you probably see that with your wives or girlfriends or sisters or moms, that when our primary relationships are in crisis or turmoil, we are not okay. You'd hear that if you were in my office. You'd hear how often girls and young women feel they don't matter because they haven't figured out their purpose yet. They don't know what they're supposed to do in the big world that's ahead of them, and their future feels daunting. If you sat in my office, you'd hear how often they wonder where God is at in the mix of the confusion. That mix of confusion inside of them, outside of them, it runs the show a lot of times because they don't know how to get through it. All the disappointments, all the conflicts, all the delays, all the heartbreak, all the hopelessness into that mix tends to oftentimes implode girls and young women. So if you were sitting there with me in my office, the two of us would actually realize, I really believe this, that we're standing on sacred ground, holy ground. Because whenever someone invites us into their deepest, most vulnerable place, that true self place, authentic, real, raw self, where it's messy and it's complicated, I mean, we're the ones that receive a gift. To be trusted at that level is an honor of unparalleled proportion. It really is. Dad, do you know how privileged you are when your daughter lets you know herself at that depth? Again, because not everyone gets to know someone at that depth, at that level. And I guarantee you that she wants to be known by you there. But it's up to you to create an atmosphere of acceptance where she feels safe enough to reveal her heart to you. And it's in the context of that personal relationship that you will pour into your daughter's heart from the overflow in yours. It's out of the overflow, did you hear that? Of safety in your relationship and out of the overflow of what you've invested into her and what you give to her in leading her to open up with you, knowing that you're not going to put her down. You're going to sit with her through the emotion and not say, are we about done now? Right? You're going to say, okay, what are your tears saying? That's how you provide safety for her. Well, it wasn't that long ago, speaking of this concept of longings in daughters, that I put a question out onto social media. And I said, I'm gathering information and would love your input. And I asked, what are 3 of your deepest longings? I put that in capitals when it comes to your relationship with your dad. And I put, if your dad isn't here on earth anymore, your response can go back to your growing up years. And so today, as I'm going to be telling you the 20 things that a daughter really longs for, I'm going to weave in some stories. And I think one of the things I'm going to do here, because dads always tell me they love bullet points. It's really funny. Whenever I write my blogs, my Dad, Daughter Friday blogs, which you can sign up for on drmichellewatson.com, whenever I put bullet points and lists, dads tend to share those. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to meet you on Mars, and I'm going to read you the list first, and then I will fill it in. Because some of you may say, okay, I got really lost in there with all the stories of things you heard from people on social media. Okay, I'm going to meet you halfway. Here's the 20 things that your daughter really longs for. She longs for you to notice her. That's number one, because being seen is huge for us as women. So that's number one. She longs for you to notice her. Number two, she longs for you to listen to her. Number three, she longs for you to spend time with her. So that's the same as giving her attention. Number four, she longs for you to be proud of her. She wants you to be proud of her. Number five, she longs for you to tell her what you see when you look at her. So a lot of dads think things, but they don't always think to tell them. At least that's what dads I work with tell me. So you got to tell her what you see when you look at her. Number six, she longs for you to express why you love her. Now, I know that might sound a little bit the same, but the reason that I have that as two different statements is one is she longs for you to tell her what you see when you look at her. So that's kind of that external. But longing for you to express why you love her is deeper. Does that make sense? I realize on Mars those might sound the same, but I'm helping you track with all the layers of us as girls. Okay? Number seven, she longs to know that you believe she is worthy. That's that worth, valuable, treasured kind of dynamic. She longs to know that you believe she's worthy. 8, she longs for you to never give up on her. She may give up on herself, but she longs, Dad, for you to never give up on her. Number 9, she longs for you to be patient with her. And what I want to underscore is, especially when you're struggling the most to do so, when you've just had her up to here, she longs for you to be patient with her. Give her that gift. Number 10, she longs for you to keep your promises. I told you I'm not going to go into any stories, but that one's a big one. She longs for you to keep your promises. Number 11, she longs for you to comfort her with your steady, solid, strong, masculine presence. Number 12, she longs for you to validate her. Even when she doesn't make sense to you, she wants you to validate her, which really is another way of saying she wants you to accept her. She wants acceptance from you. Number 13, we're getting down the list. She longs for you to love her where she's at, flaws and all. Yeah, she longs for you to love her where she's at right now, flaws and all. Not comparing her to her siblings, not saying, when you're older, you'll really see what problems look like. Nope, she longs for you to love her right where she's at, flaws and all. Number 14, she longs to hear that she's beautiful in your eyes. Number 15, she longs for you to choose her, even when everything else calls for your attention. That's a really big one. Number 16, she longs for you to pursue her, even when she pushes you away at times. That's what girls do. I don't need you. I don't want you. I don't believe them. She still needs you to pursue her, even when she pushes you away at times. Find a creative way to reach her heart, even if it's going and getting her a Starbucks or a Jamba or some kind of a treat. Just putting in her room with no words, but just letting that gift express. You might have to be creative on that one. Okay. Number 17. She longs for you to give of yourself and your resources, which tangibly tells her that she's valuable, right? Where your treasure is, which is money, there your heart is. So where we give and invest time, money, and energy gives a message to the other person that they're valuable. So she longs for you to give of yourself and your resources. Number 18, she longs for you to humbly admit when you've blown it and to ask her for forgiveness. Number 19, she longs for you to be present and involved because it says to her that she matters to you. So being present and involved in her life gives her that powerful message that she matters to you. And number 20, drum roll, she longs to know that you are so thankful that she's your daughter. She longs to know that you are thankful and grateful to God that you got her for a daughter. Even if she's in a phase of life where you don't understand her or don't get her, or maybe sometimes wish you could hand her off. I have parents that I wish I could go have someone else adopt her for a while and then give her back. But thankful that she's your daughter. So there are 20 things. If you don't have time to listen to the whole show today, there they are in a nutshell. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Let's break this down a little bit with some stories and some statistics, because those are my favorite things. Like I'm telling you, the predominant things. That's maybe not a true study, a valid and reliable study. But when I tell you stats, what I'm saying is this is the majority of women I talk to are saying this. It's a way to give you insight into what I hear behind closed doors in my, 38 plus years of walking alongside women. So let's go back to the first one. She longs for you to notice her. Being seen is huge. So you've heard me talk about that before, but sometimes dads, I get the fact that you're in your own headspace. You get done from work, dad's telling me that all the time, and they're really still in their head. And their daughter may walk in with a sad face or tears coming down her cheeks or maybe really excited, but you are too busy to notice because you're thinking, I just got to go watch the game because I got home late. And you bypass looking at her. So see why she needs to have you notice her? Because it says to her she has value, which I've woven into some of these other ones. Number 2, she longs for you to listen to her. So I get again that that's a hard one because Lou Ambrosendine in the book The Female Brain says women speak 20,000 words a day and men speak 7,000 words a day. So if you've used up all 7,000, you aren't wanting to come home and push past that. But that's where you're going to probably have to ask God to give you ability to hear the words, because Jesus is the word, right? So you're saying you get words, you are the word. Help me track with more words than I'm wired to track with today. He'll do it. Dads tell me all the time they do. Okay, number 3, she longs for you to spend time with her. And I was telling you that this is the same thing as giving her attention. So as I put that question out on social media, like tell me what your deepest longings are when it comes to your relationship with your dad. This is actually one that a guy wrote, because I wanted to hear from men too. He said, attention for sure. That's what I long for from my dad. But he's talking about past tense because his dad is no longer on earth. He said, my dad became distant for a long time. Up until about 5th grade, we used to love going out in the desert with his old junky Jeep. And sometimes we just drove, and at other times we brought guns and shot mostly at trees and bottles. But then all of a sudden that all stopped. And I didn't realize it at the time. But now, how I wish I had been corrected and guided from him. His dad just let him go, raise himself, didn't invest much, didn't spend time, didn't give attention. And that got internalized for this dad. And he said, oh my goodness, that left a gaping hole inside of me because my dad didn't set boundaries. He didn't guide me. He didn't correct me. He said, I wish he would have been intentional about teaching me how to transition into adulthood. Things like how to manage money and how to work with my hands and how to treat a woman. I wish that he would have noticed how lost I was. That jumps off the page to me. I wish my dad would have noticed how lost I was. So look, sons are saying that too, not just daughters. Is Dad, I need you to spend time with me and notice me. Okay, another guy said, I wish that my dad would have really heard me and been proud of me. So that's the 4th thing. Your daughters and your sons long for you to be proud of them. This dad said, that's one of my biggest things. My dad died in 1989. I wish I would have known how proud he was of me or knowing that I was good enough. See how that goes together? Because again, life out there is brutal. If we come home and get the same messages that we do out there, you're not good enough, you're not competent enough, you're not strong enough. And therefore, no one's going to be proud of someone if they don't see them being enough or doing enough or trying hard enough. But you come home, Dad, and you have to push past your own default to say, okay, I've got to tap into the longings in my child and address the need there. And I'm going to speak to that. So number 5, she longs for you to tell her what you see when you look at her. So listen to what one dad in the Abba Project said. One thing that's been good about this purposeful meeting each month is to realize that we've usually bonded, me and my daughter, over sarcasm. But now I'm being more careful and I'm tuning into her more and watching her face when I make jokes. Because I think sometimes they are about her, just trying to lighten the mood. But he said, now I'm slowing down and I'm reading her. And I'm listening to what she says and how she says it. Can you see that? He's saying, I am watching what's going on with my daughters to tell her what I see when I look at her. Oh, I love that one. Number 6, she longs for you to express why you love her. Another way that we could say that is, it's the same as giving approval with words. Yep, we girls need the words. One of my friends, one of my girlfriends said, what do I long for most from my dad is approval. Her dad is no longer living, but this is a positive story. She said, when my dad was proud of me, he would gush and tell the whole world. Sometimes I'd be embarrassed, but it felt really good to know that he saw me because he put words to it. And she said, and that he was proud of me, which goes back to one of the other ones. Daughters need to know my dad is gushing over me. So even if your daughter's like, Dad, it's so embarrassing, don't do that. It's a fine line, isn't it, between saying, okay, I want to honor her and not embarrass her, but really deep down when a dad says, I'm so proud of you. Maybe it's putting a picture on social media of what you see when you look at her. Listen to what another daughter said. My longings for my dad are genuine verbal affirmation of the young lady I was becoming, she said. As a words girl, look at, there's that words of affirmation has to be her primary love language. She said, as a words girl, they would have given me such life. I needed genuine verbal affirmation of the young lady I was becoming. So a lot of dads I come alongside, 13 to 30, right, ages of their daughters. The reason I target that age is that that's when it gets a lot harder for dads to know how to invest in saying something about the woman that their daughter's becoming. They're like, I don't know what to say. Dads, ask your sisters, ask your wives, ask your girlfriends for ways to say it in a way that your daughter will understand it. She'll help you. Okay, let's keep going. Number 7, she longs to know that you believe she is worthy. Let her know she's valuable. Number 8, she longs for you to never give up on her. Because we give up on ourselves a lot of times. We're hard on ourselves. We need you to fight for us. Number 9, I'm saying them again. She longs for you to be patient with her. Because again, we're hard on ourselves. If you lose your fuse real early and get angry, that is the best way to destroy the core of her, is through your anger. So she needs you and longs for you to be patient. Number 10, she longs for you to keep your promises. Daughters tell me, my dad said we could do something. He said he'd come home early. He forgot. 11, she longs for you to comfort her with your steady, solid, strong, masculine presence. She longs for you to validate her, even when she doesn't make sense to you, which is the same as saying acceptance. She longs for you to accept her. One of my friends, a guy, said, yep, that was number 1. I wanted my dad to accept me and acknowledge me. And he said, my dad hasn't wanted a relationship with me since high school. See, so there's a really big one. Dads, your daughters, your sons long for you to validate them. Number 13, she longs for you to love her where she's at, flaws and all. Number 14, she longs to hear that she's beautiful in your eyes. Yep, she's got to hear it. Put words to what you're thinking. Because I know you guys think it. You tell me that. Oh, I just didn't think to say anything. Tell her what you see. Number 15, she longs for you to choose her even when everything else calls for your attention. She longs for you to choose her. It's like even this week I had one of my teenagers that I come alongside say, my dad changed his workday around to take me out to lunch on my birthday. And it meant more knowing he had to change things around just for me. Let your daughters know that. Yep, I'll cancel that appointment just for you. Number 16, she longs for you to give of yourself and your resources, which tangibly tell her she's valuable. So maybe the go step this week is you want to get out, take your daughter to the mall for no reason. Buy her a new sweater, buy her a pair of earrings, buy her a pair of shoes just for fun. Number 17, she longs for you to humbly admit when you've blown it and ask forgiveness. Dads, you've heard me say it a lot, more is caught than taught. Your daughter longs to know that you're human too. Don't set yourself up on a pedestal, never making mistakes. Come and admit when you've blown it. Number 18, she longs for you to be present and involved because it says that her life matters to you. One of my friends said, my deepest and only longing is that my dad would live forever. Isn't that so cool? How many daughters live with a longing, right? That their dad would be here forever because it's so good. Be that dad. Be that dad whose daughter wants you to live forever. Letting her know she's beautiful. That's also number 19. Get involved in her life because her life matters to you. And then number 20, your daughter longs to know that you're thankful that she's your daughter. You're thankful to God that he gave her as a daughter to you because she's helping you to connect to places in your heart that you would have never done without her. So on your mark today has been 20 things your daughter really, really, really longs for. So putting your love into action, the go step today has been woven throughout. Admit when you've blown it. Tune into these longings. Listen to that again. Pick one of them this week. Tell her what you see when you look at her. Validate her. Listen to her. Read her face. Express why you love her. Be patient with her when you normally would have lost it. You can pick any one of these to put into action this week to let your daughter know how much you love her. So, Dad, the more you care about her longings, the more she will connect with them herself. And the more she connects with her longings, I guarantee you that the more she will thrive in saying, all of my longings lie open before you, O Lord, which is Psalm 18:24 in the Message Bible. She longs to be known by you. So thanks for listening today. If you ever want to listen again, you can go to iTunes or you can go to my website at drmichellewatson.com where there are free resources and you can sign up for my Dad Daughter Friday blogs. Dads, get out there this week and let your daughter know that you love her, you champion her, you believe in her as you tune into her longings. Go Dads.